This is QTV News. I am Ansumana Esonyasi and thanks for joining us. First, the headlines. Speaking during the ongoing constitutional review process, the former leader of the People's Progressive Party, Omar A. Jallow, advocates for central government not to interfere in religious affairs. The Office of National Security and Partners met with the governor and residents of Central River Region to discuss security sector reform. A question before the National Assembly prompts the revelation that government has recently spent more than $60 million paying for electricity generation. And we attend GTTI Skills Day organized by its Students' Union, which gives students a platform to exhibit their impressive skills and knowledge. Stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. And now the news in detail. Speaking on Monday at the consultation meeting organized by the Constitutional Review Commission, the former leader of the People's Progressive Party, Omar Jallow, says he wants the institution of laws that will bar central government from interfering in religious affairs.
In his submission to the Commission, O.J. Jallow recommended the institution of laws to ban the state from interfering in religious affairs. He says Gambians of all faiths have coexisted for centuries, and thus there is a need to avoid creating an environment of religious animosity.
The Gambia was a leading example for peaceful coexistence. It doesn't matter what faith you belong to. We were all one people living in unity. The Gambia was all that mattered to us. So let's try and maintain the peace we have in this country. For me, I am recommending that we have strong laws embedded in the new constitution that will ban central government from interfering in religious affairs. Religious affairs is for our religious leaders, not government.
Weighing in on the ongoing debate on automatic citizenship for descendants of those enslaved in the New World, the outspoken politician says all African diaspora returnees who are resident in the Gambia should be accorded citizenship status. Juliet Ryan also supports automatic citizenship for African diaspora returnees.
For us diasporans to really be Gambian, to really be African. So our ancestors were taken in slavery. So I have Gambian DNA. My DNA says I'm Gambian. I might speak with a British accent, but I'm Gambian.
Matthew Hippolyte, another African diaspora returnee who has been living in the Gambia for the past 13 years, says if automatic citizenship is impossible, then they should at the very least be accorded preferential treatment.
I want them to understand who I am. I am your brother from another mother that was taken away a long time ago. I want you to scrap what has been written there, and I want you to replace it with two things. Either you give us automatic citizenship, which is our rights, or you take on board what has been said by the last speaker about giving us preferential treatments because of who we are and why we're here.
Monday's event brought to an end the Commission's final phase of public consultations. However, the Commission has announced an extension to the deadline for written submissions to Tuesday, 31st December 2019. The Commission is then expected to present its final draft to the President in the coming weeks. CRC Chairman Justice Cherno Suleiman Jallow says they are committed to producing an all-inclusive constitution. Aisha Jain for QTV News.
The Office of National Security, in collaboration with the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, on Tuesday met with the governor and residents of Central River Region for sensitization and to discuss security sector reform issues. Babu Karsi is with the team and he now reports.
The tour is to help enhance public awareness on the purpose and functions of the country's security sector reform process. Arriving in CRR, the Governor Sirif Abbas Sanyang welcomed the delegation and stressed the importance of restructuring the country's security sector. He told the gathering that a country cannot achieve her dreams if the security is not well structured. He went further to thank DECAF and the European Union for supporting such a worthy cause. The people of CRR also shared their views on the SSR, with most of them expressing concerns about the duration of the reform process before it is put into practice. Others raised concerns about the security of our sea, saying if our waters are protected, our youths won't embark on the backway journey.
Mido lamdo dido dubi tati ko hokko ko sansema hombo hebi hen
no sodomo be dinde wala tugabe hebi benade me alon ka jata mo ganduda de yoni kata ko masilola be jala on ba o tangaro bunda dunda dugol tinga kilo bula yede.
Responding to the concerns and comments, the National Security Advisor, Office of the President, Mumudu Baji, said the reform is an ongoing process.
Sector reform is a process, and then the process, is mostly very long. We have seen in other countries like Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Abidjan and other places, they've done it sometimes 3 times, sometimes up to 10 years plus. We want people to also understand that security sector reform wants to bring delivery of security that is efficient, effective, and that is in line with the rules and regulations, and also that will the personnel will also abide by the rule of law. And then, in fact, the main issue is these, human rights issues. I don't think, it is a 2 years or 3 years plan, as people misconstrue. I've also said that, you see, people look at the TRRC and try to compare it with the security sector reform. That's not the case.
The people of CRR raised other concerns about their region, including protection by security forces, corruption, and lack of mobility for security officers deployed in the region. Babu Karsi, QTV News.
The government has spent over $60 million so far on purchasing electricity supply from Car Power Ship and Senegal's electricity company Senelec. Energy Minister Fafanyang told lawmakers on Thursday. Alusise tells us more.
To address the nation's inadequate electricity supply, President Barrow's government through NAWEC signed power supply agreements with the Senegal electricity company Senelec and Car Power Ship, a Turkish company. Reappearing before deputies on Wednesday, Energy and Petroleum Minister Fafa Sanyang responded to a query about how much government has spent on the power purchase agreements with the various electricity suppliers since President Barrow assumed office.
The amount spent on power purchase since 2007 is as follows. Car Power, 57 million, that's US dollars, 183,812.98 from May 2018 to November 2019 for cost of supplying 350,596,979 kilowatt per hour. 2 is Senelec, Senegal, CFA 968,107,923, equivalent to 3,324,507 US dollars from September 2017 to October 2019 for cost of supplying 20,497,825 kilowatt per hour.
The minister was asked to explain, among other things, the reason for the continuing poor water and electricity supply within the Greater Banjul area and West Coast region in October this year.
The main reasons for that were engine maintenance works, both by NAWEC and Car Power, temporarily unplanned outage of engines, and faults in the transmission and distribution lines. Noticeably, stability has recently been restored. Water supply has been affected by lack of storage capacity and heavy reliance on pumping for distribution, reduced production capacity, the ongoing replacement of asbestos pipes, and problems associated with the aging distribution network.
On the universal access to electricity, he said the government working through his ministry recognized the need for access to energy for every community.
Our intention is to fill the gaps. And of course, there are two things. There is the 33 kV lines that we are connecting, and that we have started also from Kallaji, going all the Quinala, and of course, with their plans to go ahead with, to connect to Jarasoma. And of course, there is this OMVG line also, 220 kV, which is also coming from Jarasoma all the way to Birkama. We have two projects actually, either on grid or off grid. So wherever we cannot reach on grid, we try to get it off grid. I mean, our mini grids.
Deputies used the session to bring to the minister's attention the need to supply electricity to those communities still without electricity, including many which have never had. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
We take a short commercial break, and when we return, the National Assembly refers the appointment of an ombudsman to the Public Appointment Select Committee. And we also hear about GTTI Skills Day, where students from its various departments exhibited their skills and knowledge. Join us after the break for this and other stories.
It's the annual end-of-year QCT Gala Dinner. We did it before and it was outstanding. We are going to do it again this year and it will be even better.
Come and have a glorious time at the 2019 end-of-year QCT Gala Dinner and enjoy a classic, intimate family setting as you listen to the delight and the best performances Gambian artists have to offer.
And the best of all, there'll be a grand fireworks display to celebrate the end of a fantastic year and the beginning of a promising new year.
Tickets are $3,000 per individual, $1,500 for children 12 and under. You can get a 15% discount for every table of 10 you buy.
It will be another great night at QCT as we enter the new year in style.
For more information, call 33-72-489 or 33-00-056.
10 years. For 10 years, we have worked to deliver world-class products and services. For 10 years, we have cultivated a reputation of excellence and quality. For 10 years, we have strived to support our people and our culture. With a history of quality behind us and a present-day drive to be the best, we continue to forge ahead towards a future of growth. As a quality network you trust, we have worked to ensure stability, innovation, and distinction. QCell, a decade of innovation, a lifetime of trust.
Welcome back. The Vice President, on behalf of the President, on Wednesday laid a motion before deputies to consider and approve the appointment of a seasoned educationist, Babukar A. Suare, as Ombudsman. As Aliou Cisse reports, deputies referred the issue to the Public Appointment Select Committee for proper scrutiny.
The motion seeking deputies' consideration and approval of the appointment of Babukar A. Suare as Ombudsman, backdated to 1st November 2019, for an initial term of 5 years, was tabled before deputies by Vice President Dr. Ezedu Toure.
I move that this August Assembly do consent and confirm the appointment of Mr. Babukar Aliou Suane as Ombudsman by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, with effect from 1st November 2019 for an initial term of 5 years in accordance with Section 164, subsection 1 of the Constitution and Section 2, subsection 3 of the Ombudsman Act 1997 and following consultation with the Public Service Commission.
Suare, 65, is a seasoned educationist who also served as Deputy Head of Gambia's mission to the People's Republic of China from 2016 to 2018.
Mr. Suare, to the best of my knowledge and understanding, is a person of good character and standing in our community. Important credentials which are critical in the execution of the noble task assigned to him by the Constitution and the Ombudsman Act. Honorable Speaker, in tabling this appointment for confirmation, the attention of the August Assembly must also be drawn to Section 2, subsection 3 of the Ombudsman Act, which stipulates that the appointee shall hold office for a period of 5 years and shall be eligible for reappointment, and subsection 3, subsection 1A and B, which prescribes the functions of the Ombudsman.
The member for Serekunda, Halifa Salah, moved a motion referring the matter to the Assembly's Public Appointment Select Committee for consideration, scrutiny, and advice.
Standing Order 114, paragraph 2, it is saying that it shall be the duty of the Public Appointments Committee to scrutinize, consider, and advise upon all appointments to a public office to be made by the executive and subject to the confirmation of the National Assembly. In that regard, Honorable Speaker, I would want to move that we refer this issue to the substantive committee for advice to the National Assembly. Thank you.
As a provider of administrative justice, the Office of the Ombudsman is responsible to ensure an accountable system of justice within the civil service. The Ombudsman holds the power to investigate, among other things, allegations of mismanagement, corruption, discrimination, and unlawful termination of employment. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alu Sise.
The Executive Council of GTTI Students Union on Tuesday organized GTTI Skills Day, where students from its various departments exhibited their skills and knowledge in the form of competitions. Mamjara Esise tells us more.
The GTTI Students Union Skills Day seeks to raise awareness among students and the public the importance of acquiring both skills and polytechnic education. Promoting polytechnic education and skills acquisition for enhanced socio-economic development aims to play a dynamic role in promoting employment opportunities for young people. The event showcased exhibition of welding and fabrication, architecture, mechanical engineering, automotive, electronics, etc. Sidia Jata, who sits on the National Assembly's Select Committee on Education, says the Gambia should have been importing and exporting products through GTTI, but as yet that has not materialized.
Why? Because we don't know what to do with what we have. Because we refuse to use that knowledge that we have acquired to transform it into the necessary tools to serve the purpose of creating what we want to have a decent living in this Gambia. We import nails of all types. GTTI is capable of creating any type of nail in the world. Tell me, the factory is there. We import plastic bottles. GTTI is capable of creating millions and billions of plastic bottles. Am I telling lies? The factory is there. We are importing barbed wire of all types. GTTI has the ability to create all types of barbed wires in this country. The factory is there.
Technical education and training play a vital role in human resource development of every developing country by creating a skilled workforce. Edward C. Mansell, Director General of GTTI, says the institution gives opportunities to students to display their talents, to inspire and motivate young people.
This training institute includes the creation of conditions that would guarantee our youths access to decent work and lifelong learning using hands-on skills, specialized knowledge, and adequate market awareness in specific TVET areas. These goals, by default, make the strengthening of technical and vocational education and training institutions in the Gambia an issue of strategic importance.
Momodu A. Jallow, the Vice President of GTTI Students Union and Chairperson of the Organizing Committee, says students at GTTI have a lot of potential to innovate to help reduce importation of products into the country, providing the necessary attention is given to the institution.
Public institutions are built by foreigners. Our cars are imported in this country, and most of our things that we use in this country are imported. But of course, we should think ahead. What should be our thinking? When can we consume our own commodities? When can we also be competing in the world market? When can we also produce our own thing as a country? I think this is a thinking of our society. That's the way we should think. And we believe as a GTTI students, this is the way we are thinking. We believe we can produce what we can consume. We believe we can produce what we can use. With the GTTI students, we have so many potentials. And if both private and public institutions give priority to GTTI students, we can of course transform the Gambia to producers as well.
Living in an age of technology, no nation can progress without investing in this field. But Dr. Aliou Diouf, Minister of Higher Education, Research and Technology, explains the importance of skills in the country's development.
The Americans did it. And here, yes, we can. We can produce our own milling machines. We can produce the nails and the barbed wires and the electric cars and everything. Make use of the foundry. Private sector should patronize GTTI. Government should patronize GTTI. International partners should patronize GTTI and help in the transformation into a use
that will make the difference in the lives of the Gambian people and save so much in terms of the budget that could be used for other priorities.
Modou Touré, technical advisor of the Youth Empowerment Project, says a promotional campaign is important for reaching out to potential students, parents, and key decision makers about the value of studying technical and vocational courses. The students were able to make and put on display a car in which the minister took a ride, a rice and maize thrashing machine, and oil compressing machine, street and traffic lights, amongst others. Reporting for QTV News, I am Mamjara ACC.
The Ministry of Agriculture on Tuesday hosted the 5th Malabo-Montpellier Forum. The event looked at how energy sector reforms can transform Africa's agricultural sector and food systems. Aisa Jang tells us more.
The Malabo-Montpellier panel convened 17 leading experts in agriculture, ecology, nutrition and food security. The forum provides a platform for policy innovation through exchange and mutual learning among leaders on agricultural growth and food security. The Africa Director of the International Food Policy Research Institute, Dr. Usman Bajan, says access to energy can have a transformative impact on the livelihoods of the rural poor, reducing the toll of their work and generate higher incomes. He explains the focus of the Malabo-Montpellier panel.
We look at three things: institutional innovation, policy innovation, and programmatic interventions. What operations government have been able to implement to advance its policies and those strategic vision that they had in those countries that have made progress. So that is the focus of the panel's work, just to make sure that we understand that change is possible, progress is happening, and here's what is going right if you want to do that. And I think that's the best way to encourage better policy. That's the best way to improve implementation.
The Vice President of Academic Affairs with the American Institute of Nigeria, Professor Mahamaduka, says the government should focus on the revival of the Sapo rice fields, which once had great impact on the value chain, food and ecosystem in the Gambia.
If we as a country, I'm bringing this home, need to scale and sustain agriculture and address food security, address the issues of youth employment, we must pay attention to Sapo and rebuild it aggressively and not rhetorically. We should put and channel every dalasi and every effort to revisit the policy regime and revive it. It will connect to give this country a renewal.
The Minister of Agriculture, Ami Fabure, says the meeting is timely as Gambia has 70% small-scale farmers who solely depend on agriculture for their livelihood. Therefore, improving the energy system with the appropriate technology will change lives and boost economic growth.
It's timely because improving the energy system, especially coming out with a document to improve energy, it will help us to boost our production and the productivity in agriculture. Highest time for us to see how best we can address so that farmers can be self-sufficient in food production. In fact, not only Gambia, but Africa, because we are blessed. We only need technology to improve production and the productivity.
The report by Malabo Montpellier panel highlights that expanding energy access across Africa offers $120 billion a year opportunity to power rural transformation, as well as promising energy-related strategies, policies and technologies emerging across Africa's agricultural value chain. By adapting these lessons to a country's specific context, African governments can meet their national and international commitments to agricultural growth and transformation. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aisha Jah.
And before we end this bulletin of the news, here's a recap of our main headlines. Speaking during the ongoing constitutional review process, the former leader of the People's Progressive Party, Omar A. Jallow, advocates for central government not to interfere in religious affairs. The Office of National Security and Partners met with the governor and residents of Central River Region to discuss security sector reform. A question before the National Assembly prompts the revelation that government has recently spent more than $60 million paying for electricity generation. And we attend GTTI Skills Day organized by its Students' Union, which gives students a platform to exhibit their impressive skills and knowledge. That's all we have for you in this edition of the news. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching.